Sometimes music takes you places that you've been or want to go.
Here was this skinny guy with a loud mouth working the room, and he had these little colorful handbills, and he was talking to anybody who would listen to him about this thing called Loom.
Walked in there and I was like flabbergasted. It was packed.
It was difficult to move. There were so many nights where we were just shoulder to shoulder.
Want some more, knit some more. 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 Want some more.
But we were definitely breaking fire codes. You know, it started through friendship. We sat down and Brent had just gotten back from, I would call, kind of a sabbatical.
I walked into this rave thing and it was totally at full throttle, but I didn't really have any context of where it came from, what the music was about, and so I would say 2004, 2005, 2006, I really dug down into learning about the roots of electronic dance music. It finds its roots in house music, and which is, came from Chicago. But Chicago's evolution of disco music, which leads back to New York, and that leads back to the 70s and early 80s, when at the time there were some legendary clubs like the Paradise Garage, the Loft, the Gallery, which ended up creating a blueprint for what we know as modern clubbing today.
It reminded me kind of like the Paradise, and he just like stood back, and he's like, he couldn't believe that A, I'd known of it, or B, I'd been there, and he said, well, that's something that, that inspires us, is to have that kind of a community that those places had back then.
I was never looking for a financial windfall from Loom. It was something that I just felt like it needed to happen. I was so excited to do it. I had so much fun doing it. Just the joy that I would see written on people's faces, when they'd be on the dance floor, when they would walk through the doors of España. I mean, that was really kind of enough to satisfy me.
And I thought, I've studied the roots of dance music culture in America, and it's very much more diverse and multicultural. And it's often been a platform for like this multicultural interaction. So it's like, okay, I want to create that in Omaha now. And so I figured creating the bass of the music, creating a multicultural atmosphere with the music, with the intention, and with the types of themes you do, hopefully will then, let's see if we can find out that other people are interested in this. And lo and behold, they were. We were very fortunate. I think we just kind of chose the right thing at the right time in the right place. So I had a mentor when I was young coming into the DJ thing, and that was Ethan Bondelid. He was like, I like what you guys are doing, why don't we take this concept and make it in a brick and mortar place.
I was always around the guys and helping the guys out with Loom where I could, whether it was donating sound systems that I had at the time or helping them set up. Started to grow a real deep appreciation for what they were trying to create.
House of Loom, that whole idea of having our own spot, that was not at all in the cards. So when they came out with it, they said, what do you think about giving Loom its own space? I think Brent right away was all about it. I think it was kind of like this light bulb moment for him.
Another thing that Ethan pitched to us is that any cultural movement has to have a center of gravity, has to have a place that calls a home. And we didn't really technically have a physical home.
We just kind of grabbed the guys and said, I think it could be more. I think we could do more with it. In order to do that, we've got to take it out of kind of your basement production crew and establish ourselves as our own bass house.
I was pretty much a pushover. I think at that point it was pretty clear the energy and the movement towards that direction, and as long as it was meant to be and the pieces just fell together, that was going to be it, and we were going to have our own spot.
Warning, the sound you're about to hear can be
audibly nutritious
to your ear.
I think that one of the continual strengths of Loom is how it successfully blends together disparate elements, like differences in cultures, differences in age, differences in socioeconomic background. About any kind of what you would perceive to be as a difference on the surface, it just melts away, and people are just people here. It has more to do about the energetics of the place feeling good and feeling safe, and people wanting to stick around and enjoying themselves.
I feel like I've been embraced by the beautiful young people of Omaha. And so I almost feel like, oh, there's hope. It's not really just a club or a place to go to. It's more of a social lifestyle. Everybody kind of knows each other.
It's made me feel at home. I feel so at home here at House of Loom. And I feel like if I have a problem, if I have anything that I need, there are people I can turn to.
The act and idea of celebration and coming together in a communal place is like something that's good for the soul, good for art, good for culture.
We've got these other pockets of people that are similar like-mindedness and had their own projects that they're really trying to launch, and we're kind of just a conduit to let them express that.
But I think the Loom though provides that like space, you know, that sacred space for people to come and feel safe and feel like they can connect, even if it's disconnected in, you know, everywhere else in Omaha. You know, it's like here we have this like this interweaving, you know, this
it brings together all the outcasts.
Yeah. There's just such a great group of people here, and every time I come to Loom, I end up meeting someone that's different and unique.
I honestly can say I don't think there's any other place that is like Loom out there right now.
And now the great thing is we're not just limited by a dance floor. You know, now we have 7 days a week, brick and mortar place where we can do anything and we can explore the social concept of what Loom's all about through a wide range of manifestations.
So much that Loom brings to the community and creates awareness of.
Community is kind of a big picture thing, and you know, we're building it, and we're building friendships, and you know, some people are creating more than that. You know, there are people that have met their spouses through Loom events and at House of Loom.
I think the Loom is pretty much it for a lot of the expression to take place.
It's proven itself. I mean, we're up to 7 years now, right? So there's a force behind it that I think is here to stay.
I think if you do enough of that over a long period of time, you can kind of look back on it and say, all right, it was relatively effective. Because you'll actually see community being built.